There's a kind of loneliness no one warns you about before stepping into leadership. It's the loneliness that comes from carrying things you can't explain, making decisions no one else understands, protecting your team from pressure they never see, and holding responsibilities that no one even knows exist. It's the loneliness that whispers, no one really gets what I'm carrying. And if you've ever felt that heaviness, that quiet, invisible leadership load, this episode is going to put language to it and give you the tools to carry it without breaking under the weight. Let's do it. Do you wish that you could lead your team in a way that honors and glorifies God? Are you struggling to overcome self-doubt as a leader and have a desire to be more confident in your role? Welcome to the Woman of Faith in Leadership podcast. I'm Rika, and for the last decade, I've experienced my fair share of managing challenging employees and teams in middle management leadership roles. I committed my leadership journey to God, and it changed everything. And I'm ready to share everything I've learned with you. Now, if you're ready to lead your team in a way that honors God, grab that notebook and pen, and don't forget your chai latte, and let's dive in. Now, before we continue, if leadership loneliness has been feeding your insecurities, fear, or second guessing yourself, you're not alone, and you don't actually have to navigate it alone. Simply go to womanoffaithinleadership.com/blueprint, and this is where you'll find the imposter syndrome blueprint, which will help you lead from a place of Christ-centered confidence, especially in the moments where you feel unseen, misunderstood, or alone in your leadership decision. Here's something few people actually talk about. Leadership naturally creates distance, not because you're better, but because you're responsible. You're responsible for decisions, outcomes, culture, conflict, safety, standards, communication, the emotional well-being of others, and the consequences when things go wrong. Most people don't see this weight, and honestly, they're not meant to. They don't carry what you carry, you do. This can make you feel misunderstood, isolated, emotionally tired, unseen, unappreciated, and like you have no one to talk to. And because you're a woman of faith, you often feel an added layer. Shouldn't I be handling this better? Why does leadership feel so lonely? Is something wrong with me? But I want to tell you today, nothing is wrong with you. Loneliness is part of leadership. But it doesn't have to define your leadership. It doesn't have to be that way. And it doesn't have to break your confidence either. So let's talk strategy. Here are 4 ways to navigate leadership loneliness with clarity, wisdom, and spiritual strength. Number 1, stop expecting non-leaders to understand leadership weight. Now, when I was in leadership, I often wanted other people to know what weight I was carrying. And so what happened was I started moaning, I started complaining, and I really started being a energy vampire, really, because I became negative about my leadership role. I mean, I wouldn't have given it away, and I wouldn't have wanted to just be another employee, but I wanted people to understand and quote unquote feel sorry for me. I'm just being honest. I'm always honest on the show. But as soon as I stopped expecting other people to feel sorry for me and actually own my leadership responsibility and start sharing my issues and the things that I was struggling with other leaders, like in a community, that's when things actually started being better, because those leaders actually understood what I was going through because they were going through it themselves. And this is the root of so many frustrations. You share your load with someone who doesn't see the big picture, doesn't understand the complexities, doesn't know the backstory, or isn't responsible for the outcome. And they give advice or opinions that feel dismissive or oversimplified. Why? Because they just don't understand. Not because they don't care, but because they don't carry what you carry. And once you stop expecting full understanding from people who don't have a leadership role or who don't have leadership capacity, you will actually stop feeling disappointed and you'll start feeling free. Number 2, build a safe circle, not a big circle. Not everyone deserves access to your leadership heart. You don't need 20 people. What you need is trusted 2 to 3 people. Sorry, let me say that again. You need 2 to 3 trusted people who can listen without judging, hold space for you, speak truth, pray with you, encourage you, and remind you of who you are. Leadership isn't meant to be carried alone, but it is meant to be carried wisely. So choose your circle intentionally. Number 3, bring your leadership burdens to God first, not last. And this is where loneliness breaks. When you pour out your stress, your decisions, pressure, anxiety, confusion, fear, and frustration before the Lord, you realize something powerful. You were never meant to carry this weight alone. God doesn't just strengthen leaders, He supports them. He upholds them. He guides them. He lifts the burdens off their shoulders. And the presence of God is the antidote to leadership loneliness. Number 4, recognize the difference between isolation and solitude. Isolation drains you, where solitude restores you. Isolation sounds like, I'm alone, no one understands me, it's all on me. Where solitude sounds like, I'm meeting with God, I'm refilling so I can lead well, and this time is strengthening me, not breaking me. Great leaders don't run from solitude. They schedule it and then they embrace it. Solitude is where clarity is sharpened and calling is strengthened. Your leadership becomes quiet, and in the quiet, that's where God starts leading you so that you can lead your people. Now, if this episode is speaking to your heart, if you've been carrying leadership alone, and if you've been doubting yourself, if the weight has been affecting your confidence, it's time to get support. Go to womenoffaithinleadership.com/blueprint. This is where you'll find the imposter syndrome blueprint, which will help you navigate leadership pressure with confidence, stop shrinking under responsibility, understand emotional triggers, lead from a place of identity, not insecurity, and rediscover the strength that comes from partnering with God in your leadership. You don't have to feel alone in what you carry. Let the blueprint support you as you lead others. In closing, leadership will always have lonely moments, but loneliness doesn't mean you're lost, unqualified, or even supported. It means you're human. It means you care. And it means you are growing. It means you're carrying something significant and you're not meant to be understood by everyone. You're meant to be led by God and supported by a small circle of wise, trusted people. You are not alone in what you carry. God is with you. Your purpose is bigger than the pressure, and you're doing far better than you actually think. And I look forward to helping you grow, seeing you grow in 2026 and beyond. And I can't wait to chat with you again in the next episode. Bye. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts? It would mean so much to me to read your feedback. Also, it would really bless me big if you shared this episode with a fellow leader who might benefit from hearing today's message. And remember, put on the armor of God daily and walk by faith and not by sight. I'll meet you back on Monday for another episode.